What is up, friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a Q&A where you guys have asked me questions in previous videos and I'm finally getting around to answering them. So I have the questions right behind me here so I can read them, so if you see me looking off into the distance, that's what I'm doing. First question comes from Beverly Held 13 and she asked, what is your favorite drugstore product? Good question. I'm assuming you mean makeup product, at least that's what I'm gonna go off of. Before, it might have been the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind concealer stuff. That probably would have been my favorite drugstore product, but now I have just recently discovered the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Primer, and that is my favorite stuff, like literally ever. I always use that now whenever I go to put on my makeup. I think it makes my eyelashes look so good. I don't know about you guys, it's just what I think. But yeah, I love that stuff. So I would definitely say that's probably my favorite drugstore product at the moment. Beverly Held 13 also asked if I would have a DJ or a band playing at my wedding, which I think is a really good question. No one's ever asked me that before, which I'm not even close to getting married, so why would someone? But I would have a DJ play at my wedding. I think bands are cool, but I'm all about just like dancing and just getting down and being crazy. Full disclosure, I'm a awful dancer, like really bad, but I love it so much, so I have absolutely no problem just being like ridiculous and crazy and, well, pretty much just embarrassing myself in front of everyone. But hey, on my wedding day, I'm not even gonna care about them either, so yeah, I would definitely go with DJ. Fairy Day 13 asked, where do you work, if you don't mind me asking? I do not ever mind you asking, that's why I have these. I am a nanny, so I work with a family here where I live, and there's one 7-year-old girl and one 4-year-old boy. I only have the girl after school, but then I have the little boy more often. Starlight 571001 asked, hi Adair. Hello Starlight 571001. Are you going to keep up with being a nanny and work for another family full time? Probably not at the moment. I have some other things I'm doing with this family. Like I've just been with them for a really long time now, and I still work enough. Like, it's not like I'm like really desperate right now for another job, because I have a couple other like little side gigs, and I do some other things for them as well. So yeah, no, I probably will not right now. If it comes to that point, I will possibly look for another full-time nanny job. I don't know, that's something I haven't really fully thought out yet, but it's definitely something I pray about like all the time. So yeah, if anyone wants to, you know, add me to their prayer list, that'd be great, because I could use some prayers about that. So I guess at the moment, no, but maybe in the future, yes. Khaleesi Snow asked, why don't you work in a daycare? That way you can get full hours and maybe benefits too. Good question. For some of you guys who have watched for a long time, you might know that I used to work in a daycare. Not really a fan of that. At least maybe I just didn't like where I worked. But I worked in a daycare. It's just very different. I love kids, but I don't like being the one teacher with like a full group of kids. It's too overwhelming for me. I don't really like that. I'm not really a teacher either. I did like when I got to work in the baby room at the daycare. That is definitely more fun, but they didn't have any sort of benefits there, and I make more money being a nanny, so I would way rather do that. Nicole Good asked, I know you are a nanny now, but what do you see as your career in the future? Has any career caught your eye? A lot of job questions here, which makes sense. I've talked about a lot on my last vlogs, but good question. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my typical answer would be, you know what career I really want is to be a mom, which is very true. Like, that's actually what I want in life and what I want my career to be. The only other career I've ever thought, at least that I like really wanted to do, was to be a surgeon, but I never cared that much to go to school and do that. So that's probably not ever gonna happen. I mean, I shouldn't say never, but very highly unlikely. I don't know, I really I've been getting more into fashion on my channel. Most of you guys probably know that. So maybe I'd like to work with like some I don't know, like stylist or something, or like do some like modeling of their clothes or something like that. I don't think I'd ever want to make that into a career necessarily, but I think it would be fun to do. Jessica Green asked, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Oh, such a hard question to answer because really none of us actually know. If I could choose, which I know I can be like, yeah, you can choose your own life or your own path or whatever, which, yeah, I mean, like, you can choose it, but that doesn't mean that's what God has in store for you. But if I could choose necessarily, I would just like to be probably not in Oklahoma, hopefully married, and at least with a kid. So yeah, if that counts, which all of it should, that's where I would see myself in 5 years. Beverly Held 13, coming back to you, girl. She literally asked so many questions, so I'm answering a few of them. She asked, what attracts you to a guy? And I am answering this question because I get asked this question all the time by some of you guys and by like just people I know in general. For some reason, I never know how to fully answer that question, and I don't know why. I feel like it should be easy. It's like I know what I want, but I can never fully say it. I just see it in a guy. But like on the top of my list is like, I just want like a great Christian guy, who like loves Jesus and loves him more than me, really. I don't know, just like a guy who wants Christ in the center of our relationship. I want that. And then definitely I would say probably to have a sense of humor, because I mean, anyone can really make me laugh, but if you can make me laugh and like really get me, you're doing good. And I don't know, I used to say like athletic, or he liked sports, but he doesn't really have to be athletic. But I would hope he would at least like to watch sports, whether or not he ever played. But that's not like a huge thing on my list. I feel like the other two, at least the first one, is like the main thing, and I feel like if we were on the same grounds as that, or the same level as that, I would be able to just love his personality from there on out. I don't know, I mean, like, I know there's a lot of other things that go into it, but that's just my top priority. So hopefully that answered that question. And then the last question comes from Amber McBee, and she asked, when is a time in your life when you felt like you were a failure or were unhappy with where you were in life, and how did you overcome that? That's a good question. Really deep. We're getting deep here on my channel. Let's see. I mean, I'm not gonna say there definitely weren't times where I felt like I was a failure or like I wasn't happy with what was going on in my life. I mean, I, at least at this point, wouldn't go like into detail, but there was definitely a time in high school where I wasn't really happy with just certain things, whether it be friend-wise, family-wise, myself, all those kind of tied in together, really. But yeah, there was definitely a time in high school where I felt that, and I know, I mean, from this video, if you're still watching, you know, like, I've already mentioned a couple times, like, prayer and, like, Christ and all that. Like, so I'm a Christian, and I lean on God for a lot of things, well, everything. So some of you guys might not agree with how I overcome or, like, really believe what I say, but this is truly how I, like, overcame that. I mean, the only way to explain is how I overcame that is truly God and, like, prayer. And a lot of people like ask me like, Adair, why don't you ever like share a lot of stuff about your life or get like really deep? Which I do. I mean, I love talking to people, and I have no problem telling my like friends or family like what's going on in my life. It's just never something I really think of to do, because there's never anything bothering me that much to where I feel like I need to share. But if it is, or if someone asks me, I'll share, and I have no problem. But I'm a big into prayer, and I feel like a lot of people underestimate the power of prayer, and I take everything that I have, anything on my mind, anything I'm struggling with, to God, and I honestly kind of like talk it through with him. I don't know, I just kind of talk to him, and he has helped me through like everything I've ever brought to him. So honestly, it's God is how I overcame that and any other struggles I've had in life. Is just faith in him and putting all my trust in him, which is extremely hard to do. I still struggle with it. I'm not trying to say like, oh, well, I go to God and everything's perfect. Like, that's not true. You have to work on it yourself. but it's with him and through him that I've been able to like overcome things. All right, so we just talked about a lot and I feel like I got pretty real with you guys in this, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this Q&A, and sorry if I missed one of your questions or didn't answer them. If you guys ever have any questions, feel free to always ask me. If I don't answer them like back right away, I could possibly be saving them for another Q&A, because I like to try and do these once a month, even though I know it's been a while since my last one. But yeah, so once again, like I said, thank you for watching. I love you guys so much, as always. Like this video if you liked it, share it because sharing is caring, and then you can subscribe so we can become besties for life. Stay neat, friends. Love ya, and have a super duper awesome week. Bye.